As a few of you let me know in the comments of part 1, I did indeed leave out a few very powerful members of the Legion of Superheroes. So hopefully, part 2 will make up for that. Be sure to let me know if I missed any others that should make the list. I'm Adam Andrews, let's get into it. But hey guys, make sure to check out Most Amazing Top 10 Anime if you are a fan of manga or anime. The host on that channel, James, is a great host and his videos are just entertaining to watch. Please check it out. With that being said, number 10 is Bouncing Boy. YouTube commenter Dracone was the inspiration for this one. He reminded us that during a time when the Legion of Superheroes was without a leader and was holding a voting poll to decide who would lead, Bouncing Boy managed to take over as a temporary leader before the votes were cast and did such a good job as an interim leader, he was actually voted in as the official leader despite never actually being listed on the official ballots. And honestly, Chuck Tane's ability may seem kind of silly, but the power to inflate himself and bounce around like a giant ball gives him a combination of invulnerability and velocity that actually makes him a surprisingly useful combatant. And speaking of combat, he actually has a high level of tactical skill and knowledge. Now his name is silly and the other members wanted to give him a cooler name, but for Chuck, it's all about that bounce, baby. Number 9, Timberwolf. He was born on the planet Zune, where his father Marlondo experimented on him. This gave him enhanced werewolf-like abilities, including strength levels several times that of a normal human, enhanced reflexes and agility, making him a fearsome physical opponent in battle, with his enhanced reflexes additionally granting the ability to run much faster than a normal human being. Timberwolf also has sharpened claws on each hand. He's very much like other werewolf-like comic book characters, but as part of the Legion, he is in space and has all the benefits that come with Legion membership. But he is also prone to a little bit of bestial savagery. Just a little bit. Number 8, Triplicate Girl. Lawarnu Durgo is a Kargite from the planet Karg, which is a planet that has 3 suns. For some reason, these 3 suns allowed its Kargite inhabitants the ability to split themselves into 3 identical bodies, each with their own thoughts and personalities, and whose memories are absorbed into the original Kargite when absorbed back together. Lawarnu left her home to try out for the Legion on Earth, and she demonstrated her power to the Legion's 3 founders at the same time, simultaneously, which I'm sure was very impressive. Unfortunately, after the death of one of her duplicates at the hand of Computo, she could only split into 2 bodies, but eventually she got upgrades. Now, she has the power to split herself into an apparently endless number of identical bodies, no matter where she is. It is not yet known if there is any upper limit to her duplication ability, so she could literally just be duplicating all the time, which is weird. Number 7, Gold Lantern. In the current time, as in right now, as in modern time, the Green Lantern Corps is just one of many corps that each stand for a different color on the emotional spectrum. But the Legion of Superheroes is from the 31st century, and as such there is a bit of a difference to the course of old. Kala Lore was a blind Filipino schoolteacher in the 31st century when the elders of Oa, the future guardians of the universe, offered him a gold lantern ring, combining the different colors of the spectrum, but not like the White Lantern. The elders offered Kala as their ambassador in the Legion of Superheroes, but surprise, Brainiac 5 revealed that the elders of Oa are not actually the guardians of the universe, and there is some sinister thing going on with them, so that's not confusing at all. Similar to the members of the other colored lantern corps, Gold Lantern has the power to create physical constructs with his ring. These constructs are powered by sheer force of will and limited only by Kala's imagination. The ring's power creates a sort of force field around him, protecting him from all but the strongest attacks. Kala's ring also allows him to fly at incredible speeds, which makes his Legion flight ring more of like a status symbol than anything else. Number 6, Phantom Girl. Tinya, or Tanya Wazo, possesses the ability to shift partially to the extra-dimensional Phantom Zone, allowing her to phase through solid matter and become intangible, meaning she cannot be harmed by conventional means of attack. This is a power that's common to all natives of Big Zittle, but it also enables her to access the Phantom Zone and use it to travel to Earth, which is not an ability shared by the rest of her race. Another thing that makes her unique to her race is the ease with which she can make only part of her body intangible. Additionally, in newer continuity, she can use the halo over her head as a portal and transport something or someone, including herself, from one location to another. She is much cooler than I am making her sound. I promise you, just check her out. Number 5, Lightning Lass. Including Lightning Lass on this list feels a little bit like cheating since, well, we had Lightning Lad on the last list and she is just his twin who received powers at the exact same time and in the same way. Born on Winath, she gained electric powers through exposure to a lightning beast, but I suppose, unlike her brother, she did also use the alias Light Lass when she gained the power to alter the pull of gravity. At that time, according to Brainiac 5, Light Lass and Starboy were two of the most powerful sentient beings in the universe because of their ability to manipulate gravity, the dominant force in the universe for sharpening large-scale structure of stars and galaxies. But that was on Prime Earth, so it's not always the case. But she does have the powers of Lightning Lad on a lower level, which gains her a good spot on this list. Number 4, Sunboy. The Earthling Dirk Morgana, who becomes Sunboy, was thrown into an atomic reactor for interrupting an experiment, causing an explosion. Yes, I know it's kind of harsh, but luckily this did not kill Dirk. Instead, it revealed that he is a metahuman with a 1 in a million genetic structure that allowed the radiation to be absorbed into his body and gave him the power to generate heat and light. Sunboy can internally generate an almost limitless supply of solar energy, from the smallest candle flicker to around the energy of the sun. So yeah, that's a lot of freaking power. Thankfully, he is also completely immune to heat and solar radiation, so he can survive his own powers, which is always a plus. Interestingly though, his power to radiate light and heat can be reflected back on him by mirrors, jewels, and even creatures that possess reflective physical characteristics, which is a sucky weakness, but hey, we've all got them, you know. Number 3, Wildfire. One day while studying at the University of Metropolis's Research Center, Drake Burroughs was caught in a laboratory explosion that completely destroyed his body. For reasons unknown, his consciousness survived, and the atoms of his body reconstituted themselves as pure antimatter. A scientist named Professor Voltan created a specifically designed suit to contain Drake's energy form. This suit enabled Drake the ability to channel a wide variety of new energy-based powers through that suit. These abilities include space travel, energy/anti-energy blasts, super strength and superhuman speed, the ability to change his size and density, and manipulate chemical reactions, with his most unique ability being the ability to create a massive anti-energy blast. It's also hinted that he is basically immortal, as he is a constantly recharging source of energy with no end in sight. He is among the Legion's top 4 most powerful heroes. Not on this list, I mean in the world. Number 2, Starboy. Thom Kalor, or Tom Kalor if you prefer, was born on an observatory satellite orbiting the planet Xanthu. He originally gained Kryptonian level powers like those of Superman when he was caught in the tail of a comet, but in time those faded away, leaving only the superhuman ability to temporarily increase or decrease the mass of an object, or sometimes person, up to the mass of a star. So he basically makes things heavy, but so heavy in fact that he can take a simple object and turn it into a black hole. It is worth noting that the black hole is apparently dependent upon his powers to remain active, but it's a freaking black hole that this guy can just create. Starboy can seem to use these black holes as wormholes to alternate realities of the multiverse, so that's a pretty useful ability, but black holes are terrifying, and personally I'd rather just take the multiversal taxi. That's just me though. Starboy eventually becomes adrift in time and space, eventually becoming Starman in Kingdom Come, and then moving back to the early 21st century and joining the Justice Society of America, which all had a bit of a deteriorating effect on his sanity, so pros and cons. And in at number 1 is Element Lad. Jan Ara, aka Element Lad, is the last survivor of the planet Trom. The rest of his race was wiped out by Roxas the space pirate and his crew when they refused to transmute common elements into rare metals and jewels. Jan had only survived this genocide because he had been in space at the time. He served with the Legion for many years, serving terms as leader and deputy leader. Like all the other Tromites, which no longer exist, Jan has the ability to transmute substances on the atomic level, which is an incredibly strong ability in comics if you did not know. As an example of what he could potentially do, the element lad of Earth 247 had also learned how to change his own chemical makeup, which allowed him to live over billions of years, and over time he learned to use his abilities to actually create or destroy life and make himself near omnipotent. He is a crazy powerful character. And that's all I have to say about that, really. Be sure to leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the characters who are featured on this list. Also, hey, if you enjoyed this video, all you gotta do is leave a like to let us know we were giving you the content you wanted to see. I've been Adam Andrews. Check me out on Instagram at @the_schmadam, and until next time, nerds, stay safe out there.